Alright, welcome to the weekly recap, and it was a pretty chill week. So far, the trading has not been too well on the scalping side, but I placed my first swing trades, which is what we will get into in a minute. But let's start with the scalping, and we placed two trades this week. The first one was on gold, and this one, as you can see, was a very unfortunate trade, but I did actually make a mistake, which I have learned from. And the second one was on NAS, which in my opinion, I guess the liquidity was quite high, but it just did lose, and I've seen a lot of trades like this win. That's why scalping is quite hard. There's no rhyme or rhythm as to what trades win and lose. So it's quite difficult. But let's have a look at both trades. So, alright, the first trade was on gold. And if you know our strat, you know that this setup right here is a really, really clean setup. And it was. And it's a real shame that I didn't manage to get the win on this, because honestly, this is perfect, especially on gold. Gold right now has been insane. Crazy bull run. But yeah, liquidity, break structure. As you know, we look for the simple, that's literally the structure we look for, and that matches it completely with the zone at the bottom. So, what did I do wrong in this situation? Well, first of all, I got a bad entry. I entered on MetaTrader 5 around up here, so entry should be at the close of this candle, but it was up here instead. A bit of spreads really, but honestly, that was just poor timing from me, and I could have definitely not have done that. Secondly, the big problem on this trade is that my stop loss was actually way bigger than intended. On TradingView, we plot the graph, we analyze the graph, and we draw on our TPs and stop losses on here. So on MetaTrader, however, I did the TP and stop loss on MetaTrader, not here. And MetaTrader obviously has a bit of a different price. So my stop loss actually ended up being below the wick on MetaTrader, not on TradingView. So instead of being here, it was down to like here, which is, in terms of like a stop loss, that's a pretty big difference, especially for scalping. So if the stop loss was there and my entry was a bit better, that 1 to 4 would have been hit easily. I mean, I think even if my entry was still at the same place, almost, yeah, you can see like, that's the thing. I learned a lesson today, well not today, on the trade, which was on the 15th, which was 3 days ago, to basically always do your stop loss based on the price on TradingView, not MetaTrader. So that was a mistake I made, and I paid for it by not getting 4%. I closed break even because of news here. So yeah, that was a shame. The second trade was on NAS, and this again, technically, it's got not much liquidity, which is a big factor towards our strategy. However, we are very bullish, as you can see here, and we are just literally moving up for tons, filling this gap here, and again, this is a big shame. The thing I'm kind of struggling with the scalping right now is that so many trades just win and lose regardless of the shape, and honestly it's really hard to get a solid understanding of which trades are actually more profitable than others. So this one I was like, hell yeah, I'll enter, because I've seen trades like this win before many times, and unfortunately it didn't. We got stopped out, price did end up reaching our target, but it did not reach it in time enough because we lost the trade. So this here, I actually don't really care. This is a chill trade for me. I would have taken this any day, because although the liquidity was high, it doesn't matter for me. It's a clean setup, and setups like this fucking win, And I believe we also had news or some sort of event here, or maybe just market open. Yeah, I'm lying. It's just market open. So those were the two scalping trades I took today. Now let's go on to the swing trading. Now these are not journaled yet because these trades have only just been placed, but they were, and we are swing trading a lot of pairs. I believe on NZDJPY, that's the first one. Yeah, this trade here I've entered on. And the strategy is really simple, to be fair. I'll just draw it out again. Literally waiting for, because as we know, price moves up like this. It doesn't move up in a straight line. That's obvious for any trader. And for swing trading, it's really funny. Quite a lot of people, like all the profitable traders, really kind of use a similar system. Support and resistance, plus fundamentals obviously. But the technical side is literally support and resistance. You find an area of resistance, say we're bullish, you find that area of resistance, which you mark out, you wait for price to break through, retrace back to the area, and then that is when you will enter, providing there is some sort of confluence maybe in there, like it's a discount level on the Fibonacci, or there's a demand zone and something like that. And that is exactly what happened in this trade. So as you can see, we have this level of 2 levels of resistance here, which we mark out using the first box. And price literally did exactly what I was just talking about. Goes down, breaks through, and comes back to the level. And in this level as well, it's great. There's a confluence, a demand zone right there. So there's the level of resistance zone to support and a double confluence as a demand zone. And also, I believe is an area in the discounted as well. It's below the 0.5 line. So this is a really good trade. And I did not enter in this initial bit here. I entered on the retrace here, and it closed bullish outside because honestly, I just didn't get that entry. If that came there, I would have entered anyway. And the good thing about swing trading, we can have bigger stop losses, like all the way down here, so we can have a bit of room to move. This is aiming for 1 to 3, and many people are like, oh, I can't be asked to swing trade. It takes months. You won't get any. You will like be not profitable. You can have 50 pairs. You can literally trade every day. There are setups like this every day. The next setup was, I think, on NZD JPY, AED CHF, and here again was another setup, and we use a 4-hour time frame. Now, as you can see, I'll just delete this. We have this area of resistance right here. Resistance, prices where being rejected. We have about 3 levels there. 1, 2, 3. We draw out the zone, and in this situation here, price goes down, breaks through it, and then comes back down for the retracement. And obviously the resistance is a general area. For example, you could say it's like that. It's just a bit of a general guide. And as you can see, in this resistance, guess what we have? A demand zone. Again, it's like crazy, and it happens actually quite a lot. We have this demand zone here, which price has just reacted off and closed bullish. So this is where we got the entry. And let's check the fib. Wow, price reached the area of discount again, below the 0.5, and then came back up. So our entry is going to be there. Just have the stop loss below the demand zone or just above this demand zone down there, and aiming for these highs. And as you can see, this is another trade that it's a simple strategy. And I haven't really talked about the fundamentals. I'll talk them in a sec. I'll just go through the actual setups we were taking. ADCHF and NZD-CHF, I believe that's the last one. Yes, this here is again another setup, and this one's really strong. We have 3 levels of resistance here, 1, 2, 3, and as you can see, we have the same exact structure. Price, well, you can kind of say it's more like that. Price pretty much forms these areas of resistance, then, as we said, breaks through them really strongly and comes down to this area. And as you can see, it happens quite a lot. The breakthrough is often a very strong candle, like this one here, very strong, and creates a fair value gap as well. Guess what we have? We have this demand zone right here, which is in the area of resistance. Right there. It's crazy. There's a lot of times this happens. And I believe this may have been in the fib, or may have been a bit over. Yeah, this one was just below here, but that's still alright. And we're just aiming for these highs here, or just below the demand zone. And this is just technical. The reason we're actually entering these trades is not just because of the technical. There are hundreds of these setups. It's because the fundamentals are super strong on these. We look at the core reports and the Edge Finder, which is an insane tool. The Edge Finder is absolutely insane. And it tells you pretty much all the pairs that are really bullish, really bearish by collating all the values like core reports, which are, you know, releases of data by the banks that tell you what their positions are in, and interest rates, GDP, inflation, stuff like that. I'm in 3 swing trades right now. These are the first ones I've actually ever placed, and I placed them on Friday evening. And later today, because it's Sunday, later today we'll actually go through them, and because markets will be live, and see how they are performing. Because there have been some new court report releases, which we release every week. So yeah, I mean, I'm very excited about the swing strategy, because the scalping, I can't lie, has been incredibly difficult. Like, it's very hard to master, and if you master scalping, like, a fair play to you. I haven't mastered it yet at all, and I've been doing it for about half a year or like 3/4 of a year. It just takes so much time. The only way you can get better is just do it until you get the intuition of the markets, because there's no way you can do it mechanically, I can't lie. Like, this strategy has been shown by these mentors and gurus, like this guy called, I'm not going to say, with these crazy win rates and stuff. It's nothing like that. In live markets, it has a really pretty low win rate. Not this, the actual scalping strategy. So it does work in backtest, but live is very difficult. And I can't lie, it's just going to take some time. I expect I'll be doing these videos for a while before I finally start getting the results I want to see. However, with the swing trading, the results are already coming in. Like my cousin, Beamer, he's got 71% win rate already from the swing trading in the last month and a half, which is insane. And the good thing about swing trading, this edge we were just looking at with I call it the upside down N. This edge, like, it literally works anyway as its own strategy with no fundamentals. This here literally works. you can trade this without looking at any news, and you'll have like a 50% win rate from backtesting, not IRL. When you combine it with fundamentals, that's an actual edge. So it goes up by way more, which is very, very, very interesting. Like, and you'll be shocked. This looks very simple. It is simple. It's super simple. With swing trading, we know the value is going to go up 90% of the time because the news is a fact. Like, if interest rates change, the flow of money into a pair of currencies will change. So that is a fact. All we have to do is get the entries, which is what this provides. So yeah, I'm very excited. And as you can see, everything is logged on my new backtesting and trading journal kind of software. It's called TradeSafe Plus, and it's almost finished. And as you can see, this is my live results. I can't lie, have been pretty poor. This is on a new account. I have two 25Ks, which were new. And you see the 5-minute one. I just haven't had much wins at all. And I've been finding it pretty hard to scalp, honestly. It's not easy at all. It's really difficult. Like, trading's so hard. But as you can see, I will have my swing one soon. I may create an account now. And hopefully this will work. We are also looking at possible position on the Japanese yen. They are going to be intervening soon. And that will possibly be an account passing trade. But yeah, these are the trades I took this week. It's been a pretty interesting week in terms of like news and stuff. We were kind of expecting like Trump to strike Iran maybe this weekend, but unless he does it on Sunday evening, I don't think he will. Crazy what's been going on. But yeah, anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next week. And give me a like or whatever, so then I can just get more subscribers. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Join the free Discord. We chat about all this stuff. The swing trading, we have a whole section about it, and we always go on chats like pretty much every day. But yeah, if you want to learn how to trade, just join it up.